Yeah,
Hey,
buddy.
what's going on? It's your boy Bo here, and I'm back with some truth and facts. All right, shout out to the movement and everybody that's moving with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited. I really am. I'm excited because I have on the call two very, very special guests. First, we're going to introduce a guy who's always on, who always makes himself accessible. Um, boxing trainer. You know him as the father of the probably prodigy, sensational boxing, little future. My man, Mr. Mark Robinson. What's going on, Mark?
I'm here. You know, when you call, I'm here, man. I'm gonna be here.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. You guys know little future, but you don't know the wrecking the wrecking machine behind Little Future.
Right. Call him the pass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You guys are seeing the finished product, but you didn't see it when it was just clay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where
Hmm.
it's come from. Then of course I'm also joined by another very special guest that I was introduced to, and I'm very happy he's here. My man William Wallace, who is the CEO of a foundation called Food4Soul. Uh, William, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you for having me. And when I was introduced to you, I was excited about the opportunity to come and talk about some of the things that we're doing out here on the West Coast. I know y'all on the East Coast. So yeah, thank you for having me. I look forward to everything that's about to transpire today, man.
Okay, Mark is on the east. I'm Midwest, man. You know we.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Midwest,
yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Mark is Mark is east, and they're
Yeah,
known like where he is not
hey,
they're our
Mark.
competitor when it comes to boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta say one thing though about the East Coast and Philly, man. I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, man. So, congratulations to everybody out there in Philly and the
Hmm.
Philadelphia Eagles, man. We Bird gang.
Yeah, that's what's
Okay,
up.
I say congratulations to them too. I'm born and raised in Philly, but you wouldn't believe, but I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh
So
my
Yes, yes
God.
you
he
know,
is. Yes he is.
yeah,
Oh
I don't
man.
get down with them birds, but I guess
It's
I
all
was happy
good.
for them, to finally get it done.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's all love at the end of the day, man. It's all love.
Hey, don't feel bad.
So,
I'm in Chicago, and
Absolutely.
I'm in Chicago, and I don't root for that one team. I don't root for that one
so-
Chicago team. I don't root for that one. So, let's jump right into it. And before we go into the foundation, I just wanted to send a
yeah,
special shout out to Yolanda Cortez for hooking me up
yeah,
with
yeah,
Will,
yeah.
with my man Mr. Wallace here. I want to thank her for that. And
Yeah,
also,
she's an amazing person,
yes, she
amazing
is.
woman.
I've actually had the
So
I've
much
interviewed
with the
her.
boxing community.
Yeah, I've interviewed her, and man, she like you're right. She's amazing. She's definitely amazing. And in case you guys don't know, go to Sway Universe where you will see a special interview with Little Future and his father Mark. And it was funny because when I saw Little Future say he's gonna be on Sway, and I'm looking at him like, oh, just
Huh?
Future? I was like, just Future gonna be on Sway? Then all of a sudden I said, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew Mark was gonna be right. I said, okay, okay,
Not
okay.
too far away from that one. Right.
Yeah. And to Mark's credit, he said some very, very, very positive, inspirational things. And one of the main things I always point out is the fact that it's not so much as what he's doing with his son in boxing. Is just you can see he's
Right,
preparing his son for life overall. So like
right,
I see Future the congressman, Future the entrepreneur, that's what he's preparing
right,
him
right.
for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know Mark's story, all of his kids are like that. Like
That's right.
all of his children are he's accessible and they're very smart, very intelligent. So that's important, and that's mentioned in the interview. So I think you guys should check that out and watch it. So let's go down and get into this, man. So my man Will with
Yes,
the
sir.
my man Will with the Food4Soul Foundation.
Yes.
Uh, it's a very good foundation. One of the things that sparked me is you are interested in teaching the kids some boxing training. Tell us a
Yes,
little bit
sir.
about the foundation and how this came about.
Yeah, well, we founded the organization about a year ago. We've developed two programs within that year. One of the programs is an after school program. We teach about 12 original courses. Um, and then we also founded and developed our youth initiative program. And that's kind of where I kind of touched bases and collaborated with Yolanda as far as putting these programs together. And one of those programs, actually, because she's really big in the boxing community, and she told me about the opportunities. And we reached out to some resources that we have, and we started the youth initiative program. That's the area that focuses on connecting youth with essentially their dreams or therapeutic activities, things that teach them discipline and structure and motivates them and inspires them to step away from some things that the distraction that life kind of bring our kids to be distracted by. So
Mm.
the youth initiative program, man, is great. We kind of collaborated with Legends Boxing Gym on a few occasions, and we essentially working with youth and teaching them the skill of boxing, or introducing them to boxers and the boxing community, and then showing them all the things that is taught within the boxing community, and hoping that kind of spark some interest and get those kids moving in a positive direction. Because at the end of the day, man, that's what it's always about. Trying to provide kids with opportunities and link them with different dreams and aspirations, and then letting them go from there. And that's kind of what that is. And we're excited about it, man. We're excited to have everything going at this point in time. It's scheduled to launch officially in the month of June, which is about a month and a half away. So that's what that is, man. I'm excited.
Okay, and yeah, okay. And what I want to do is I want to keep you coming back on the show, continuously talking about it until they actually launch. If that's okay with you, man, I would love
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to
I'm
keep
here.
doing this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm here, man. Thank you.
let me ask you this. Um,
Yeah,
before we go over to Mark, let me ask you this question.
yeah.
Uh, are you looking to hire boxing trainers or former
Absolutely.
fighters? I mean, like, what are some of the things you are preparing? Because if you're gonna have them do
Ab-
boxing training, they got to do it right. They got to do it right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so essentially, we are looking to hire some instructors. Anything that we can do to make these experiences authentic and original for these kids is what we're looking to do. So we have some volunteers and some paid staff as far as the youth initiative program, but we are looking to have some paid instructors that can come in and speak with our kids, tell them about the nuances of boxing, and if even better, if they had their own kind of trials and tribulations, and kind of share their testimony with some of our kids. We all open ears to that. We all looking forward to those opportunities, and it just when those opportunities come, we definitely will jump on those things. So it is about bringing in people, and yeah, whoever, if people have a heart for boxing and also the youth, man, we all for that. So yeah, absolutely.
And you're in California, is that correct?
Yeah, California. Yep. We have a boxing relationship currently at the Legends Boxing Gym in Norwalk, California.
Oh, that's what's up.
We've been taking I would say 15 to 20 kids there within the last couple of months, and we trying to develop that and bring more and more kids and give them more opportunities to learn some skills and learn the discipline of boxing. Because people see boxing, think you just in there throwing haymakers all day. There's a skill, there's perfection to it, and I know you guys know more about that. And anybody that we can have that come in and talk about those things with our youth, man, that'll be great.
Right. And I don't know how much Mark know about it, but I'm deep with it. But so you're in California, which means Mark, unfortunately, man, you can't go there, man. You can't uproot the
Hey, we
family and
can
go to
make a
Cali,
trip
Mark.
out here. Look, hopefully sometime in the near future, if we can make a trip out here, man, we can set some stuff up for sure.
Mark,
It's
you
just a
there?
matter of
No
coordinating.
doubt.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
okay,
Okay.
Mark, you heard everything he said, and this is why I wanted you on because you yourself, outside of your son, you have some kids that you train. And I
Hmm.
watch how you train your kids. You train the other children. It's important that they learn that boxing isn't like what he said. Isn't just getting in the ring throwing haymakers. There's the discipline that you have to have to it if you want to be considered a successful fighter. Like anybody can fight and throw punches, but only successful ones has the discipline to wait out something, bait you, move around, and things of that nature. So hearing what he said, how important is it to get the youth involved in some type of activity, especially if we're talking boxing?
Um, Boxing, I mean, it's very important. If you just strictly talking boxing, man, it starts. I mean, everything starts at home with your own parents. You know, the kids that I train outside of Future, they're not my personal biological children. You know, they have parents of their own, and it's one of those things where I find myself sometimes I have to treat them the same way I treat my own son when they in my care. Sometimes they parents, you know, drop them off and they go make a run for an hour and a half. So I feel like I become the parent right away. The parental instincts kick right in. So I find myself within that hour and a half that I have them, I show maybe a 15 or 20-minute live stream of them working out. But for the most part, we just sitting in this garage and we really talking, and we talking about school, their education. We talking about who their friends are, the peer pressure. Even that, I'm talking that I got 8, 9, 10-year-olds, and I'm already asking them about, what type of people are y'all hanging around? Because sometimes, even when I grew up, I hung around kids 3, 4 years older than me, because of my maturity level. So you might think your kids outside and they 9, 10, that they playing with other 9, 10-year-olds, but they might be hanging around some 13, 14-year-olds. So I'm asking them, who are your friends, and, this and this and that. So it all goes hand in hand. But getting back to the boxing, I'm always trying to teach them, defense, that if you're going to be boxing, you don't want to take a lot of punishment. Your body need rest. You're young. It's competitive out here. Everybody, like you said, they want to get in there. They want to throw haymakers. They out to hurt you. So I got to teach mine to do it. We got to do this thing strategically. I don't want to override this one question, but because it's so much like that people don't understand. My son is pretty popular on social media, and I know a lot of people, they want to get at him. They like, why is this kid doing all these things and got all these people around him and pushing him up? He barely gets in the ring. Well, that's strategy. I have a strategy for that. He'll get in there, trust me, but he'll get in there how we want to do it, not how they want us to do it. We'll use boxing. We won't let her use us.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, and that's why I wanted you on the show, because I think it's also important. Part of boxing training and strategy is patience. And a lot of time when kids are training, they want to fight. But like you said, as someone who's teaching them this, and this can also help with the foundation, is you have to teach them to control that. Like you fight when you fight when you need to, not when you want to. You fight when it's, what I'm saying, you learn that discipline that, hey, if you can walk away, walk away. And that's very important. That's very important.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I like about what you said, Mark, and even about what Will's saying is, when you look at our youth today, they need an outlet. Now, boxing was an outlet for me because of what it teaches you. You use your whole body for it, right? And you're right, it's physical. Right. But one of the things that I like is, you said, is that the strategy about it, even if it's training or trying to build his brand, like what Will is doing with the Food4Soul and the boxing training, is you have to build a rapport with people to have them trust you, to drop their son off to you at your home. This is not a gym. At your home for you to train them. How important is that for you? And then Will, when he get done, I want you to jump in and say how that's important also for you and your foundation.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess they watch you from afar. First, you don't know these people. I didn't know these people, the parents anyway, from day one. I met them maybe 2, 3 years ago. They probably watched a lot of my social media, and, me and Future, we had done things on Comcast Sportsnet. We done Channel 17, which gave us a national spotlight. We done a radio where they heard our stories on radio, seen us around. world champions, former world champions. So it takes a while for, any parent to build that trust factor to drop a kid off or kids off, to a man's home where you maybe only see the wife around 10% of the time. That would make anybody wary. But so far, so good. I've always assured, and I even say things like this, Bo, no lies. Like, when they come, I would have to ask the parents, did they use the bathroom? Because I don't want your kid to get back in the car and say, well, Future room was nice, Mom. Well, when did you go in Future, Coach Mark house? Oh yeah, we was upstairs, in the house. So I say, did your kids use the bathroom? Do they have to use the bathroom? Use it now while Mom here, because kids, they speak the damnest things. They just talk. So you don't want a kid to say, oh yeah, I was in Future Dad room, or I seen Future Dad room, it was nice, or it was junky, or so you always want to do things out in the open, or get it all out verbally and say things to the parents to get that trust, factor, and make them feel like, treat my kids like you treat your kids. And that's, one of the things I try my best to do. That's why I go live sometimes, so that their parents, and I see that a lot, though, real quick, that when I go live, their parents come on live, and I notice it right away, like, okay, well, they know we're live, we're exactly where we at, so that's one of my little things that I use to let them know that everything is okay.
Right, and it also is a good factor to show them that, hey, we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing over here. Oh, wow, right. That's good stuff. Yep. Now, Will, for you, how important is it, because when you're going through the hiring process to have these people come in, how important is it for you that these are people you're able to trust to get in front of kids, to talk and be proper not proper in speaking, but know that, hey, you're talking to children.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important, and to speak about Mark, I think with that situation is that when you do a good job, the kids go and the word of mouth kind of spreads. You know what I mean? So, having a good rapport with the kids that you do work with, it don't matter if it's 5, 6, or 7, or 2 or 1. When you have a good rapport with those, they go out and they spread the word, and then it becomes like rocket fire. So. As far as us with the protection of one, we should always look for people who are trying to steer our kids in the right direction, in whatever facet they might be in. It might be boxing, or it might be a different lane, or whatever case may be. Is if they trying to steer them in the right direction, that's something that's good for them. So with from my aspect of like doing counseling for so long and working with kids for so long, it's like, they have little steps to assuring that the parents feel safe. Like, sometimes there's backgrounds, or, if they know your history and they start to build, that's when the trust is built. And it works in your favor. At the end of the day, man, when people know when you're doing a good job and when you're doing good, and it manifests and it shows in your work. So it's very important. Yeah. And when we want to bring bona fide, real and well-intentioned, genuine people to come in and work with our youth. And it's no different in any other direction, in any other state. It's the same thing. You want bona fide people that have a passion for what they're doing. You have a passion for what you're doing. It shows. It really does. So, and I think those kids feel it too when they go around. They working with Mark and they see his son, and they kind of know the things that he's doing. They know that he has a real passion for those things, and that manifests and it shows, and people want to be a part of that. So
okay, that's very good. That's very good. For both of you guys, I'm gonna ask, because it's getting to the point we're going to be closing out here soon. One of the importance for me, what boxing did for me was, it was back when I was coming up, boxing was a tool, so you can just so you can if you had one of the parents I had, you had to be in the house right after school. So boxing was one of those tools that I could use to hang out a little bit with my friends. I could be at the gym, to hang out a little bit with my friends. But nowadays it seems to be a little bit more. Like it just seems to be a little bit more. With the way technology is, with the way that things just have evolved, it seems to play a much bigger role in a lot of kids' life. what are some of the things you think that attribute to the role that boxing, the increasing role that boxing can play and has played? Mark, I'll start with you.
Well, number one, I think you hit it right on the head. Number one with that to me is social media has to be the biggest tool, because now everybody can see or add to, you know, ideals. You know, is boxing, is training, is teaching, is you know, the physical part, is the sparring, is the running and all that stuff. But then when you can finally get a minute to chill out and you jump on your phone and you're on social media and you watching, you know, what another coach from a whole different city, country, whatever is doing with their fighter or team or behind the scenes. And now, I mean, they taking you right into their life. We all are like a part of each other's lives now. This was never done. We didn't have this, I guess 10, 12, 15 years ago. So the evolution in social media is just helping everybody, you know, add on ideals. I mean, I don't want to use the word stealing, but I guess we all have to. I take things from people and make it my own. People take things from me and make it their own. So I just would say, like, social media is one of the biggest additional tools that's been added for everybody to come into each other's world of boxing and kind of, like, you know, take things from each other, whether it's in the ring or, you know, outside the ring. So I think social media, I would say, is was the biggest thing that's being added to, as you say, coming from school and trying to find a way to spend more time outside. And then you got social media. You can look on your phone and feel like you outside, or feel like you in somebody else's gym or part of their team.
Right.
Yeah, right. Will, I'm gonna go to you, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Having the foundation that you have, bringing in the youthful kids, are you going to be a little bit fearful, because there are some things on social media that can be bad too? What are some of the things that you're going to take in to try to deter some of those bad elements from affecting your program and what you're trying to do?
Well, I mean, for one, it is a slippery slope, because there's only so much you can control with kids and technology. Everything is accessible nowadays. And as far as on our part, it's just we make sure that our staff and our team, that we operate with integrity and honesty, and we go about doing our business the right way, knowing that if we use the social media outlet, we use it for, you know, the good, you know what I mean, and broadcasting. If, you know, of course, the kid or his family will want to be broadcast a certain way, shape, or form, that we broadcast according to that. But and just making sure that our youth that we do work with, that they know, you know, how slippery that slope is, and try to protect them in the little ways that we can through mentoring and support, and trying to get them to use their social media outlets in a positive way, like, you know, with people with the boxing community, and they all share their videos where they all, you know, in a sense, motivating each other, you know, showcasing their skills, and kind of like, you know, creating this big buzz about boxing. In the same way, you know, kids can go and do something and share some negative stuff on social media. So we want them to be able to, you know, show the good, you know, talk about the good, share your successes and all those things, and kind of, you know, hope that manifests in the kids when we work with them. It's like, you know, all the things that we do good in the community. Yeah, we want to show that. We want to show the world. We want to show other communities, and hopefully they be inspired by us and vice versa. And, you know, use social media for the good. At least try.
That's right. That's right. That is what's up. Unfortunately, this I could go on all day with you, gentlemen, but
Yeah.
this is the end. But we will do this again. I promise you guys. I promise you guys. I want to thank. I can't tell you how much I really appreciate the two of you gentlemen taking time out to do this. It really means a lot, and you just don't know. It really means a lot. Will, tell everybody more about your foundation and where they can follow you, and catch up and follow your foundation as it progresses.
Yeah. So the website directly to our organization is food, the number 4, and then soul.org. So you can go straight on there and catch up with all of the things that we are doing and will be doing. Also, you all can follow us on Instagram at food, the same number 4, soul, .inc. and you all can follow our posts and learn a little bit more about us and our kind of our aim and stuff like that. And yeah, we got some amazing things planned here in the near future. We got an event coming up here in May 13th, going to show love to the mothers. It's an Artful Cause event. And yeah, we're just gonna put together some really nice things. We're trying to raise money for both our programs. So anybody that wants to keep up with us, they can do it those two ways.
Okay. And Mark, tell everybody where they can follow your son as well as yourself, because you had, like, people don't know you got your own you got your own little thing going on. So tell everybody where they can follow your son as well as yourself, and also tell us some of the other things that might be coming up with you in future in your plans.
Well, social media, you can follow my son at Lil Future 9, and it's LILFUTURE number 9, and I believe he's on Facebook the same way, Lil Future 9. You can follow me at Mad Scientist of Boxing. I don't know how you want to figure that out, how to spell that thing, but I'm not going to spell it out. But when you put in Mad Scientist, usually I pop right up. So you can follow me at Mad Scientist of Boxing on Instagram. I'm Mark Robertson on Facebook. I don't have a Twitter or a Snapchat. I don't get that deep, but you can follow me and my son there. As far as anything upcoming, it's day by day thing. We just keep working. We trying to stay prayed up, stay healthy. Like I told him, the ring, everything going on inside that ring to take care of itself. You young, you just turned 13. I don't want you taking too much punishment. I believe you got enough skill and talent to still be great and be successful on the back end. I think I look at somebody real quick. I look at somebody like Earl Spence Jr. He didn't start boxing until he was 15 years old. Look at him today. So why should we rush? I think Future got the same type of skill and ability, strength. So we just going to take our time, but look for us to maybe get back in the ring in the next month or two, and that'll be that, because I'm sure some fans want to see him go.
Yeah, that's where you can find everybody. Of course, you can find me, Bo. Truth and Facts About Boxing. Capital T for Truth, _ capital F for Fact Box 1 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also follow me on the Facebook page, Truth and Facts About Boxing. And again, I want to thank these two gentlemen for coming out. We're going to be doing this again. And follow Mark at Mad Scientist along with Lil Future 9. I don't know why he's Lil Future 9. He's 13. But okay.
I know. I just took him back to the original. I think that was the original one we first started with when he was about 9 years old. I think we came on as Lil Future 9. So I wanted to honor him by just going back to the old original name or whatever. So
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Then, of course, you have my man William Wallace, and you can follow him at Food4Soul. And he get y'all the information. Make sure you guys keep up with both these gentlemen. They're doing big things in the ring and outside the ring. Just thank you guys for being here. All right, everybody, that is our show. We're out.